If you look into the corner of a room or under a dusty floorboard, you might see a shape that feels entirely mundane. But if you were to strip away the familiarity and really look at the mechanics of a spider, you would realize
that you are staring at something that feels less like an animal and more like an alien technology that crash-landed on Earth and never left.
The flowers and the birds. You have to go back 400 million years. Imagine a version of Earth that looks like a different planet.
The continents are barren rock. The air is silent because there is nothing to sing or roar. Clinging to the stone. In this alien silence, long before of the spider were already there. They are the pioneers of the land, and this is the first mistake we make.
we group them with insects. But saying a spider is an insect is like saying a human is a shark. They are fundamentally different lineages
That parted ways 500 million years ago. While insects went on to develop 6 legs, and the chelicerates took a darker, stranger path. They kept the 8 legs. They abandoned the compound eye.
One of the most efficient killing machines natural selection has ever devised.
Consider how they move. When you watch a spider scuttle across the floor, you aren't watching muscles pull on bones.
Spiders do not have extensor muscles to straighten their legs. Instead, they pump their own blood.
They are, quite literally, soft-bodied robots powered by fluid dynamics. This is why, when a spider dies,
The hydraulic pump has stopped.
But the mechanics of movement are nothing compared to the mechanics of consumption. Evolution handed spiders a difficult problem.
How do you eat something that is protected by hard armor? The solution was to invent a way to digest the meal before you eat it.
Venom is one of nature's most elegant chemical weapons. Originally, it wasn't a weapon at all. It was just digestive fluid. But over eons, these fluids migrated from the gut to glands near the fangs. They mutated. They became neurotoxins. Today, a spider's bite is a dual-action biological hack. First, the neurotoxins hijack the prey's nervous system, cutting the wires between the brain and the muscles, causing instant paralysis. Then, the digestive payload is delivered.
This is predation at a molecular level. The spider turns the solid insides of its victim into a nutrient.
The spider doesn't chew. It drinks the essence of its prey. It is a gruesome, silent.
Silk is the superpower. It is a protein chain that it can stretch 40% of its length without snapping.
We tend to think of a web as a house or a trap, but it is neither. The web is an ear.
Spiders have tiny brains. Most of their nervous system is packed into the front segment of their bodies. But a brain doesn't need to be big.
If it can outsource its processing. This is a concept in cognitive science called extended cognition.
For the spider, the web is a literal extension of its sensory system.
When a spider sits at the hub of its web, it is plugging itself into a massive sensory array.
When a fly hits the web, or a male spider approaches, or the wind blows, the web vibrates.
The spider can read the frequency and amplitude of these vibrations with terrifying precision. It knows the size of the meal, the species, and exactly where it is stuck, all without seeing it.
Wells with its information.
And the most mind-bending part? This architecture is disposable. Many orb weavers tear down their entire web every single morning.
Eat the silk to recycle the proteins and rebuild a completely new sensory network the next night.
Imagine if you could dissolve your eyes and ears and rebuild them better every 24 hours.
That is the life of a spider. But not all spiders sit and wait.
The jumping spider is perhaps the most charismatic, but also the most visually sophisticated.
While most spiders have poor vision, the jumping spider has evolved eyes that operate like telescopes.
Inside their tiny heads, the retinas are long tubes that can move independently of the outer lens. They can scan their environment, zoom in, and process depth through a phenomenon called chromatic aberration, measuring distance by how different colors of light come into focus.
This visual power allows for behavior that looks suspiciously like planning. There is a species of jumping spider called Portia that hunts other spiders.
Portia does not just run and bite. It observes. It will spot a target, realize a direct approach is impossible, and then turn away, disappearing behind a rock to take a detour that might take an hour to execute. It holds a mental map of the terrain in its head. It simulates the future. It creates a strategy. This is problem-solving capabilities we usually associate with dogs or crows.
It forces us to ask a difficult question. What is intelligence? Does it require a massive mammalian cortex?
Or can it be distributed, woven into silk, pressurized in hydraulic legs, and encoded in ancient instincts? The spider is a survivor of the highest order. They have walked through the ashes of the Permian extinction.
And now, they are surviving us. As we pave the world, they are adapting.
Using our artificial lights to catch more moths, changing their circadian rhythms to match our chaotic schedules. There are species now that live almost exclusively inside our buildings, a new lineage diverging from their wild. See a creature that mastered chemical warfare and architectural engineering, while our ancestors were still trying to figure out how to breathe air. The universe is vast, and biology is stranger than we can possibly imagine.
If you want to continue this journey into the unknown and explore the deep mechanisms of our reality, consider subscribing.